Hello everybody, this is Josef, José, a.k.a. BeerPacman. Welcome to this webinar. We will spend some maybe 70 minutes here. I will set up some, let's say, a smart countdown timer here. If you know this device, this is Google Home. So I can maybe do something like, okay Google, set the timer 70 minutes.
Sure, 1 hour and 10 minutes. Starting now.
Okay, so the timer is set. As you can see in the live recording, I recommend maybe you can click it and do it full screen, so you can see all the slides and everything. And there is also a chat underneath the video, so do not hesitate and send us there some maybe questions and so on. So we have quite some content. I welcome you again here from Recruitment Academy in, maybe I should not disclose which place, because as you will see, the things we will uncover in this webinar, there might be kind of like a black hat, but I won't let you know what's technically possible. So you will see, but yeah, we are of course we are here in Prague. So let's hit it. On the first slide, you see something. You can see some data. Maybe you can guess what it is. As you can see, there are some telephone numbers, there are some emails, there are some names. So it probably looks like a database, like maybe a database of employees of some company. Maybe you wonder how to get such a list for the sourcing perspective, for the recruitment perspective. Now, what talent sourcers do? They are looking for contacts. They are looking for new data, for new people, for new candidates, how to approach them, and so on. So, how to get such a list? There are many things which you as a sourcer can use, but they might be kind of on the brink of law or of legality. So for example, here one tool, LinkedIn Extractor, where as you can notice, this tool wants a credentials for your LinkedIn from you. That's very dangerous. I don't recommend to do that, because of course they can save it and they can kind of hijack your account. But this tool is scraping in bulk the LinkedIn profiles. Of course, this is not legal, but from the application, if you buy it, if you purchase it, it looks like a normal application. So maybe you are using that and you don't even know that. LinkedIn Lead Finder, which is a tool which is able to send group messages in bulk. Again, this is something you should not be using because it's not legal. There is the plugin profile views. It looks like harmless plugin which basically just log what people saw your profile, because normally with your normal non-paid LinkedIn account you can see just 5 people to the past who visited your profile. With this plugin you can see all of them starting by the day when you install that plugin. But of course you are substituting some paid services of LinkedIn, which is not illegal. Sometimes just saving the profile, if you see the profile on LinkedIn and you will save it, you will not just open it, but you will save it to your hard drive. It might be illegal, and probably it is in most countries, for example, of Europe. Calling to somebody and introducing, for example, you are calling over reception to some companies and you are introducing yourself as somebody else because you want to go over the reception, over the front desk to get to your desirable candidate. This is not right as well. So you can see this is a lot about publicly available data. If there is some service where you can pay it and you can use it, you will probably do it. But imagine with this device is the HDTV USB stick. With this stick, you can watch a TV. Normal device which you can use for watching TV, but with this device you can also track who's calling to whom. So we can track actually the mobile phone numbers in the air here around us, and we can track who's basically calling to whom. So if there is such a service on the internet where you will pay, for example, over PayPal, and you will have this chance to do it, you would probably do it because you are maybe a non-techie guy, non-techie lady, and you are not able to recognize if it's illegal or not. So from this perspective, sourcers and modern recruiters are kind of like a social engineers. They are looking for ways how to approach candidates, how to find them, and so on. This year at Sourcing Summit Europe in Amsterdam, I demonstrated this data distribution on the candidates on this example. What you can see here on the slide, it's a gun. It's a fully functional one-bullet gun, which is called Liberator. This is version 1.1. And this gun is 3D printed. So this gun was printed on, let's say, 20 in dollars. It would be something like $1,000 3D printer. But the thing is that you maybe wonder that must be very difficult. How to, maybe you saw that somewhere in the TV series, and you would say that must be very difficult. How to actually build such a tool. Actually, it's very easy. What I demonstrated in Amsterdam was this. Maybe you can see the TV series Guerrilla, where this guy created this gun. And okay, so you know now that there are some 3D printed guns. Okay, so let's open Google and put their 3D printed gun. We will see some results. Let's move on. We skip to Wikipedia. So Wikipedia, let's say, a trustworthy source of information. You would not expect any dangerous information there. So we just see the 3D printed guns on Wikipedia, where I will scroll down, and in the legal section, we can see that there is something like such as Liberator. So actually the Wikipedia helps us to locate what's the actual name of this gun. So we click on the Liberator. We are on the Wikipedia Liberator webpage. Okay, we know now what it is. And on the bottom there is actually a link to the full list of 3D printed guns what you can find on the internet. So on Wikipedia there is actually a list of 3D printed guns which you can download and which you can print. Pretty scary, right? So we will find in the list our Liberator, and we can see that the producer of this gun is some company called, or website called Foscat. So we will put Foscat into Google, and what we can see, we are on the Foscat website where we click exchange. We will download over 1 gigabyte file of data. We will unpack it, which is what you will see right here. So actually this is over 1 gigabyte of data full of 3D printed guns. So we will find the Liberator, which it looks like this. So there are 15 components. You will print it normally. The 3D printing is honestly now easy. We are just printing something right now, well, because we have here, as you can see, I'm the BeerPacman, so I have this Pilsner beer here, but we didn't have an opener here in the office, so we will print it. It's pretty common, so you can print anything. So we will print it on this 3D printer. We will assemble it together, and you have a fully functional one bullet 9mm gun. So as you can see, the data also, like in the let's say in alignment with candidates, the data on the candidates are now distributed everywhere. It's not only LinkedIn. LinkedIn, for example, for us, for our company, it's 57% as a source of hire. So it's a major source of hire. It's over half, but still there is a big chunk of candidates and data we need to source somewhere else. So by the way, this gun, just maybe interesting information for you, the material which this gun is built from, it's a corn. So there are actually farms which produce these, it's called filaments for 3D printers. So it's actually it looks like a plastic, but it's from corn. So it's kind of interesting. So back to the candidates. Imagine we have LinkedIn, we have Facebook, we have all these things, but would you expect to find, for example, Java developers on Airbnb portal? We can try to do that. So as you can see here, you have the exact here we have the exact link where we will write something like site airbnb.com/users Java Prague, and we have one guy here called Pepa who's actually a Java developer. So on Airbnb, those people have profiles there, and there is a section there is a section position. So this guy is on a position Java developer. So that's one of the ways where you can find data. SlideShare. SlideShare is now under the ownership of LinkedIn. What's the problem? Probably you have ever met some profiles on LinkedIn which are filled like just briefly. The guy just filled his position, maybe company, but he attached his CV in Word document format or PDF to the profile. The problem is with this profile that if you put something into keyword, once you are looking for people over advanced people search and you put their keyword, for example, Java, and that guy doesn't have Java on his profile, but he has it in the PDF file, you will not find this guy in the search results. How to find those guys having just the CVs there on their profiles is this way. You need to go to Google, you need to put there something like site /share.net, CV, resume, and so on. Here you have the example with Prague and účetní or accounting. Účetní is the Czech term for accounting. So we have a nice list of SlideShare profiles, of SlideShare documents, which are CVs. Those users are most probably the users of LinkedIn. I see that we already have the opener. No, it's not printed yet. Okay, so we can show that later on. Facebook has 4 times more users than LinkedIn, so you would be stupid to ignore Facebook for sourcing. Of course, Facebook, the data there, the static data, are not so significant as on LinkedIn because not so many people will fill there what's their position, what's their company, what's their employer, what's the description of his or her position. But still, even if some percentage will do that, there are 4 times more people. On top of that, you can locate candidates on Facebook based on their behavior. So imagine that there is someone who will not fill anything, who will not fill that he's accountant, for example. He will not fill that he's working for Deloitte, so we cannot recognize that he might be actually an accountant. But he might be the member of a group accounting professionals, for example, or he might like posts about accounting. On that basis, we can basically track him. So with the plugin, now there is a new plugin from Shane McCusker. Shane McCusker, a friend of mine, a programmer who is doing some recruitment software. You can see here the link for the plugin, and you can download this plugin into Google Chrome, and you can search for people on Facebook, pretty much similar like you are used to doing on LinkedIn. So you can search based on location, job, which means job title or employer, like a company. But you can also search based on in which group those people are, or you can search based on what these people like. So I can search for people liking the posts about accounting. Based on that, I can determine that those people might be accountants. So do not ignore Facebook. But that's still kind of like obvious. So from this perspective, talent sourcers, as we said, modern social engineers. Social engineering, it's kind of like a subject on its own. There is an interesting book, Social Engineering, the Art of Human Hacking, which was written by a technical guy, and as you can see in the headline, in the reference on the top, he got the reference from Kevin Mitnick. Kevin Mitnick actually wrote a book, The Art of Deception, before this book. And Kevin Mitnick also, he's famous for these techniques where he kind of like hacked, even the hacking word changed the meaning over the time, but he used technical things, yes, but he used also the social aspect of the, let's say, of the society. So if I should describe what social engineering is that if you need, for example, the password, how to break into something, with social engineering you would ask for the password. If I simplify it, with the normal cracking you would do some technical things to get the password. So this is Kevin David Mitnick. So I definitely recommend these two books, also for the recruitment, because what we do every day now, we are contacting passive candidates, because if you do IT, there are 95+% of passive candidates. If you do general recruitment, it's something like 75% based on the data from LinkedIn. So every day you are kind of like influencing the people around you, your candidates. You would like to lure into your company, or into, if you are agency, into your clients. So there's also there's a question about the border where it's not influence and it's a manipulation. But in general, these books are a good examples how to how to explore the social aspect, because we usually call it social media recruitment and so on, and this is the social behind it. Social engineering is usually used by social engineers. It's actually a job, so you can basically hire people, social engineers, to try the security of your own company, for example. So they would do this penetration testing if your company is safe, for example. I did it before when I was at the university. I was a penetration tester, and we tried the penetration testing for banks and so on, if they are safe. Salesmen, of course, as now I say that the recruitment in general, it's 90% sales and marketing. So of course, salesmen and marketing use that. Candidates, sometimes even candidates, are trying to use some guerrilla methods, how to get the job, or how to get a better job, how to get a higher salary, and so on. Law enforcement. On the bad side, of course, organized crime, phishers, these scams you are getting into your mailbox every day. It's using the social aspect. If you get the email from PayPal to change your password, it's using the social aspect that you are not enough IT literate to recognize that it's a scam.
There's a question coming.
Yeah, there's a question. Okay. Greetings to Lithuania. Can you? So the question is, hi Joseph, can you tell us more about new LinkedIn layout and how to use it for smart sourcing? Of course, this is not part of this webinar, but of course, briefly I can tell you the new layout of LinkedIn. If we take into account the non-paid account, will be completely new. The effect on recruiters is that you will not be able to use it for a proper recruitment. If you are a beginner, which at Alliance for Recruitment you are not, because you are pretty advanced with your things, it will not be sufficient. Basically based on three things. The first thing is that there will be no advanced people search. So the only search you can do is based on the one keyword field. Plus, there are some few filters like company, but very limited. You are not able to put there a boolean into that. There is no title. As I said, title on LinkedIn is the most luxurious way how to source people. There is no title. There is no postal code. So the only chance to source people is based on location. So if you are looking for people from Vilnius and surroundings, you actually need to list all the surrounding areas and cities there. That's the problem. So that's one thing. The very limited the searching fields, the interface. The second thing is that now when you have the old non-paid account, if you do the search, you will have some number of results. Sometimes you can see on the top show all results. Once you click on the button show all results, then you will see the real number of the real results for the search query you put there. The problem for the new LinkedIn is that there is no show all results button. So LinkedIn is basically telling, I will show you from let's say 1,000 candidates, I'm showing you these 600 candidates because I think you would like to see those, but I don't care. If I put there Java, I want to see all people having the Java word on their profile, not just some selection based on some higher algorithm of LinkedIn. So that's the problem. The third problem, the people beyond the third level, third degree of separation, on your LinkedIn profile to everyone else, basically, which you normally see as a LinkedIn member, you will not be able to uncover them in the new profile. So there are at least these three problems. So if you are a beginner, you don't do anything on LinkedIn, you can get some results. You can use actually a Google. You can use X-ray search for googling the LinkedIn, and you can have that 600 people anyway for free, even without LinkedIn. If you are using Google custom search engine, you can have 1,000. So, but if you are doing, let's say, everyday recruitment, you need a higher level because you need to get to that last Java developer on LinkedIn. It will not be sufficient. So at the moment, at least having the LinkedIn Recruiter Lite version, there might be some changes to the future. So at least this, and if you have the RPS or LinkedIn Recruiter, it's the best choice you can have. So hopefully, if there is Andrews or anybody else behind the account Alliance for Recruitment, I hope that I answered your question. So back to this topic, before LinkedIn, imagine LinkedIn super thing. It changed the game of not only recruitment, but it changed the game of that social engineering, because before, once you wanted to have, for example, a list of employees of some company, you needed to do, this is called a trash diving, or sometimes called a dumpster diving. So you basically went to company premises where they have trash with outputs from printers, and hopefully you will find there some contracts, some outputs, and so on, having those names and so on. So LinkedIn, from this perspective, now if you want to list, or if any, even let's say social engineer would like to list the board members of this company, they can do that, and they can then call them, for example, and pretending that they are the board members and so on. So maybe you wonder what I do now. Yeah, I was doing also security in the past, but at the moment I'm the co-founder of GoodCall, which is the recruitment agency where our business model is strictly divided to sourcers and recruiters. So our recruiters start the recruitment process by doing interviews, and they have, for LinkedIn sourcing, Facebook sourcing, and so on, they have their own sourcers. We don't use job advertisement at all. We have the Recruitment Academy, educational platform, where the good call is for us something like a laboratory. We try a lot of things there. Some of them you will see in this webinar, and we will basically put them into Recruitment Academy, and we can deliver it to you. We are preparing the online version of the Recruitment Academy, which will be pretty much interesting for you abroad. It will be in English in the first phase. DataCruit is our IT platform. So I cannot imagine doing the recruitment business without having IT guys behind my back and basically creating the platform, which is also connected, for example, to LinkedIn. So it's vital thing of our everyday recruitment. Currently, in 3 years, or not even 3 years, we have over 120 employees, 7 branches over Czech Republic and Slovakia. Now we are expanding to Poland. So Andrews, we are coming. Just kidding. People as Merchandise, that's my book. I'm the author of this book. I will be creating a new version of this book, which will include also all these things, all the new sourcing things, not only LinkedIn, and it will be in 2018. Behind the Recruitment Academy, we have academic board, and the head of the board is Jan Milfeit. Jan Milfeit is the former head of European Microsoft. So basically his line manager was Bill Gates, which is quite, I would say, impressive. So at Recruitment Academy, we don't have only these webinars, we don't have only one-day courses and so on, but we have also certification, which usually covers the whole role. So we have Recruitment Academy certified sourcer, recruiter, architect, and manager. So this academic board is basically the credibility behind it. So let's go play it. Let's do some practical things. I prepared also something for you which you can use. So sorry for that. So let's do it. I would maybe before doing this, I would maybe put here a short disclaimer that some of these things you will see here might not be illegal in your country. So that's what's basically I need to say prior to this section. So how do you SMS from a telephone number of your choice? Maybe you wonder, how is that possible? So you want to say that if you have my number, you can SMS to anybody with my number? I say yes, you can do that. So as you can see here, this is just an examples of what you can do. So you can see here, for example, some strange numbers like only zeros. You can put there a dream job. So actually it needn't to be a number, it can be a text. So this telephone where this screenshot was done, so you can see there Obama. So we actually can send SMS having the Obama there, and regardless if the receiver or recipient have Obama in the contact list, he will see Obama on his display. So yeah, so that is. So if I have your number, if I say it this way, I can send SMS with your number to anybody. What you can what's your intention to do with that? It's up to you. I just want to say that it's possible because basically all these things I demonstrated at the conference in Amsterdam recently, and there is the thing that also in connection with LinkedIn, a lot of recruiters on the global basis, they are kind of like obsessed with tricks and hacks, how to get over something and so on, and they think that it's their competitive advantage. So I take it, let's say, from the bottom, and this is what I want to kind of put across to you, what's actually technically possible in today's world. If you want to do this, we actually prepared an application for you. So if you put into your browser sms.databoost.cz, you will put there a login webinar 2017 and the password is hex. You can actually do the same. So you can prank your neighbors, you can prank your colleagues and so on, and send SMS from any text. That's the first thing. So to the sender field, you can put there any text, which should be, I think, up to 8 characters and no space. So it can be anything like dream job, together, anything, or it can be a number of anybody without the 2 zeros. So you can try that. Is it possible with calls? I say again, yes, it's possible also with calls. So you can call to anybody with any number. So Andreas, if I have your number, I can call to your wife with your number. That's possible. So here you can see some examples. So you can see, for example, North Korea. So you can put there some number from North Korea. Maybe, I don't know if that would scare the candidate, or maybe it might be on the opposite side pretty much interesting. So again, any number, any interesting number with zeros, just 6, any international numbers and so on. So this solution is based on our solution, where we have some SIP gateway and Flow Road, which is a special service, but it's not so important. If you want to do this, I will skip here, then I will go back. There are 2 services. One is called Spoof Card. The second is called Bitphone. So again, it's a normal proper services, because this is actually, it sounds strange, but this is actually legal, for example, in the US. So in the US, you can spoof your number unless you don't use it for illegal purpose. So these are normal legitimate services. For the spoof card, you can actually change your voice. So if you don't want to sound like a woman, you can change your voice to man. Quite interesting. So how to use it? Sometimes the fake number might be more effective than a hidden number. So you just simply don't want to uncover your number. It might be nothing bad behind it, nothing illegal. You just don't want to uncover your number. But using a hidden number, it's kind of like might be spooky for the recipients. Maybe you want to call, for example, I would like to call to candidate in Vilnius. So calling with a local Vilnius number, I might have, let's say, a better chance that I will approach that candidate. Again, there are no bad intentions behind it. That's just basically, you can do that with Skype as well, but for Skype it's more difficult. So this is the easier way how to do it. This is not what I would recommend, but again, now forget any legal things, ethic things. I'm just saying what's technically possible, nothing more. The second thing, for example, here at Good Call, of course we don't use these things. We are not allowed to use these things. So I'm just putting across what's technically possible. So you can overcome reception with, for example, with this number, or you can miscall some candidate with a number of, for example, your CEO, and then send him a message. Hey, maybe you had a missed call from the CEO, and so on. So just creating. I delivered this webinar also internally to, let's say, Fortune 500 companies, because they wanted from their sources and recruiters to kind of open their mind. So it should also motivate you and let's say, yeah, motivate and let's say pushing the flywheel further in the recruitment. Era-based sourcing. That's the term I set for what you will see right now. Era-based sourcing. Why it's called era-based? Because it's usually with the SMSs and with the calling, you can do that globally. I can call and send SMS to any American guy, for example, here from Europe. It's not a problem. These tools, what you will see here, are dependent on the location. So I can do them only, for example, here in this room, or in this part of Prague, or in Prague, and so on. Again, one thing with the SMSs, there's a chance how to send SMS to people without having their number. How to do that? Maybe you kind of wonder why to focus so much on SMSs. But imagine globally there are over 460 million LinkedIn users. There are over 1.7 billion active Facebook users. There are over 3 billion people online. But there are over 4 billion SIM cards in the world. So the SIM cards, once you are searching for accountants, accounts payables, technical people, and so on, you are looking if they have Facebook and so on, but most probably they have the SIM card. Sometimes they might have two. My mother, she's not even online, and she has 4 mobile phones. I don't know why, but she has 4 mobile phones. So the SIM cards are definitely a way how to approach basically anybody. In the Czech Republic, this was kind of, let's say, the global scale data. But for example, in the Czech Republic, over 10 million inhabitants, over 1 million LinkedIn users, over 4 million Facebook users, and over 7 million people online, but 14 million SIM cards. So you can see SIM card and the number or behind it, or sometimes it's not the number, but the factory number of the telephone of the SIM cards. It's the definitely way how to approach the candidates. Usually there are these antennas. You can notice them in your cities on the roofs. One is usually for GSM, the old networks. One is for 3G, let's say the newer networks, and LTE, the newest networks. So that's why they are free usually. On this website, opencellid.org, again, publicly available data. Those data are there, so you can open opencellid.org, you can put there your address, and you can actually see what it's called BTS, those are these antennas, are in your neighborhood. So as you can see on this description, this is the building of Microsoft here in Prague, and I can see that around there are a lot of these blue figures are O2, Telefonica, mobile operator. The red one is the Vodafone, the purple one is T-Mobile, and so on. So you can see these BTSs, and you can see also the info on BTSs, some kind of, let's say, numbers, some settings numbers. With this Monster app for Android, it's the application for free, you can actually track to actually which BTS you are connected. So you can track on your mobile phone to which BTS you are connected. We created this special old Motorola phone where we plugged in our software, and we can scan the whole range of these BTSs and create such a map which BTSs are available to connect and how strong they are and so on. And with this device we created, we can do things like, if I have this device right here, right in this room, I can send SMS to people in my neighborhood based on how strong I have the antenna and so on. even without knowing their number. So all people, let's say, imagine for example radius 200 meters, but it can be 1 kilometer and so on, can receive SMS just based on that they are close to your device. So it's also possible. This is the internals of this device. So you can see the heart of this device is called IMSI catcher. It's also the most expensive part, over $600 from the USA. There is a small computer, something like Raspberry Pi. It's called Odroid C1 from South Korea. Antennas are from the Czech Republic. GPS antenna is from China. So this is the setup. And with the setup, you can do what I just said. This is the CNC cutter. So not only 3D printer, but we have CNC cutter here in the office where we can do these things. So this is basically the output, what also we see. So we can not only send them SMS, and we can also put there any sender. So again, it might be some text and so on, but we can see which operator those people use. We can see the type of the mobile phone they use. So and we can see their original mobile operator. So imagine those data are from the Amsterdam. So imagine international audience on the conference, and I can track basically what nationalities are there in the audience, what mobile phone, what type of mobile phones they have, and I can do a lot of things with them. One of the things is that I can send them SMS. We can also create our own mobile operator. So you can see here Netherlands KPN, T-Mobile, Vodafone, and guess what is BeerMobile? Of course, that's us. So BeerMobile, it's our mobile operator. You can connect to that, and we can do the calls for free amongst us and so on. So again, I can send SMS, I can send voice messages, I can make calls, but the things can go even further. I can basically completely hijack your mobile phone, and nobody will able to call you if you are within the radius. And so I can track your location, because once you go around this device, I can save your mobile phone, the number of your factory number of your mobile phone. If you do that once again, I can again see, okay, the same mobile phone is going around this premise. So I can basically track people as well. So all these things are possible. Yeah, so imagine maybe you say, okay, that would be cool to have this device. I would like to approach those people in that company. So I would load it into my car, go there, spend there 10 minutes in front of that company, send the SMS to all the people in the company, and took off. Of course, that's technically possible. Yeah. This might be the van which we can use it for. So there are some commercial tools which you can use especially for this purpose. So you have here the links. You will receive this presentation after that, so you don't need to put it down. We have by the way one. Yeah, that's basically, Andrews, the answer for your question. How does this thing cost? Can we buy it? If you mean this, the IMSI catcher, how it's called, you can buy all the components as you could see in the description. But I would say it's pretty difficult to maintain it and to use it. It definitely is. But here are some let's say commercially used solutions. I don't know if how we didn't try it. So, but there are ways that usually in the US you can buy these tools, or in China as well. So it's possible. How do you hack radio? Maybe we will do one little demonstration right now. So I will kindly ask my backup team. So let's see this video.
We are here at Model 1, the day of Socio Hacks in Amsterdam. We have our own hackathon right here at Model 1. You can see that we are at our car and we are listening to a Dutch radio, as you can see on this car radio. But we want to listen to our own radio. We created a radio called Dream Job, which we are now broadcasting. you can hear our jingle.
Come to work for Sourcing Summit Europe, the most practical talent sourcing conference in Europe, and meet with the star speakers. #SocialEU.
Yeah. So if there are people listening to this radio around us or in the hotel, they are currently and at the moment listening to our radio. Now we will cut the
Gebruik gewoon die
broadcast
verschrikkelijke melkpakken.
and we are back to the original radio as you can see on the radio. That's it.
So I don't know if you get it, but this is another example of era-based sourcing. So basically, with one little device, you will see it in a while, you can change the radio station basically of anybody in that radius. Again, in that radius, depending on what antenna we'll use, it will be from 30 meters to 3 kilometers. So not only you can change what you can hear in the radio, but you can change also what's on the display. So imagine you have a traffic jam full of cars, and you will start this device there. All the drivers in those cars can see, for example, what you can see here, Dream Job. There is no radio station called Dream Job. It's our station, and we can put anything what we want. So as you can see, this might be easily used for some guerrilla campaign if that's legal in your country to use this device. This device is actually very cheap. It's Raspberry Pi for $5, where you just need a little setup and a piece of wire. I put here $0 because yeah. So this is very cheap. With this device, you can do the 30 meters radio. So from the center, 30 meters radius can be influenced by this, and they can hear your message in the radio. You can choose any station you want. So if you have something like Vilnius Daily station, you know the megahertz of this, the frequency of this station, you can change it. So that's one thing. Maybe you wonder that would be cool to do that with TV. Yes, that's also possible. We can do that in TV. Let's see the example again, the video example. So as you could see, you saw there some TV station with golf, some sports station, and with this device we changed that station to our job single, or that was some kind of jingle. And again, it works in the same manner. So all people within some radius who watch that particular TV station, we can change that station for our station. So, or you can interrupt the commercial break with your commercial, for example, and so on. That's also possible. So usually these towers are the TV towers in your city, and it's basically using and hacking this wavelengths. This is the device, including pricing. So you can see it's not that expensive. Then of course, what's making that expensive is the reach. So if you want to basically cover the whole bigger city, it's more expensive. Wi-Fi common, it's pretty common technology you use every day, but it might be also kind of like pretty dangerous. There are people who basically don't connect to any foreign Wi-Fi, so because they know what can be done. So imagine this was the sourcing summit, and you can see in the top down corner that there is the list of Wi-Fi, but there is the SOSU EU 2015, but there is also SOSU free. The SOSU free, it's our Wi-Fi. It's the fake Wi-Fi we created there, and we created a different name. We could even create the same name, and that would be also a different level. So all the people who connected to SOSU free Wi-Fi, they immediately saw this web page where they were asked to put their email. We just decided to put their email, and once they put the email, hit access internet, it said something like use a different Wi-Fi. This one is overwhelmed. We save that email, of course, and then we have a nice list of people from the conference, and we have the list of the people from the conference. So again, you can see how this can be used. Now we have a nice list of people doing, for example, recruitment and sourcing. So do your parallels to other conferences and so on. The thing is that it can go even further, because we can in this case we kind of let them know that just put their email, and we disconnected them. But you can do things like that. Your internet over Wi-Fi is kind of going over our system, over our PC in the room, and we can track also your passwords and so on and so on and so on. The possibilities are basically endless here. This is the device, so you can see some simple antenna, Raspberry Pi computer, and USB Wi-Fi card. Pretty simple. So possible scenarios: collecting contact information at the meetups and conferences, sniffing traffic, and so on. So Steve Levi, one recruiter, IT recruiter from the US, once said that I know it looks like a cyber stalking, but in the recruiting world, it's called research. And yeah, I would say exactly. A lot of sourcers, recruiters do things every day. They consider they are okay because they are not aware that they are basically even unintentionally breaking some rules and so on. So I just wanted to show you what's technically possible. But there are more things. This is, let's say, on the side of the searching and so on. But if we look for the engagement part, we want to engage with the candidates. Now you will see some things, let's say, with the technology in general, not with illegal hacking. This is one case study: JavaScript developer we hired for iBillboard, just one of the IT roles, developer roles we did. You can see that on the long list there are over 130 people. So we needed to contact 138 people to have 5 people which we can send for the interview, 4 interviews, 1 offer and 1 placement. So if you do IT roles, this might be pretty obvious for you. If you do non-IT roles, the number at the beginning would be lower. On the left side, you can also see how many sourcers and how many recruiters worked on that. So we can see 1 recruiter, normally 1 role, 1 recruiter, but there are 6 or 5 or 6 sourcers. So you can see for IT, it's normal that 1 recruiter at our company can have, let's say, up to 3 full-time or 6 part-time sourcers. So it's very, very, let's say, demanding process. How to increase the response rate? When we send emails, in-mails and so on, let's say normal in-mails with maybe slight level of personification, we usually have 36% as a response rate, so that the candidate will reply to us anything. I'm not interested, I'm interested, or anything. He will reply to us. But sometimes imagine that there are cities where we are not able to find even those 130 people, 48 people, because there are only 30 people who are qualified for that particular technology. So to basically have a chance to place that role, you need to have the response from all of them. That means you need to increase the response rate to a higher level. How to do it? One thing is that you can do that over the text. So of course you can use some let's say personification skills. You can do a better research on the candidates. You can find out what he's doing, if he likes which sport he likes, if he likes wine or beer, anything. You can find all these things. Also the technical things, and based on that you can more and more precisely target for the guy. So here you can see one example. I will just read the first sentence, that there is something like, "Hi Max, I noticed on Twitter you are pretty much into bikes." So obviously the recruiter find out on Twitter that he's a cycler. They have a tune-up station at their company, so he would be pretty stupid not to use this fact to contact this candidate. So that is one way. You can probably imagine how this works. The second way is, we call it video job descriptions. Video job description, it's usually a short video with a hiring manager. So this guy you see here, it's the guy from our client. So it's actually the potential boss of that potential candidate, and he will just, with his own words, it's not scripted, he will describe himself, the company, the role, who's looking for. So usually 1 or 2 minutes. We can see a short example of this video. The beginning is in French, so if you know French, you might understand what's there. The second part is in English. We will see just a little bit, so you have the imagination how it looks like.
Je suis Martin, ça fait maintenant presque, je commence une 12e année à Dezen, j'ai commencé en novembre 2004. Quand je suis venu à Dezen, c'était pour être responsable de l'Afrique entière, en tout, et la Slovaquie. Pourquoi Slovaquie? Parce que je suis d'origine slovaque. Voilà, j'ai commencé. Pourquoi l'Afrique? J'ai vécu 8 ans en Afrique quand j'étais jeune, j'ai fait 4 ans au Sénégal, 4 ans au Congo, donc c'est la raison pourquoi je suis proche avec cette culture. J'aime les gens, j'aime la chaleur, j'aime en fait être en Afrique. Et voilà, j'ai commencé après 1 an et demi de travail, j'avais des résultats. Donc on m'a offert en fait de créer un petit team où j'ai employé des gens qui travaillaient avec moi dans mon team et nous avons développé le marché africain. Ensuite, après 2 ans et quelques, j'ai laissé la Slovaquie pour les gens qui s'occupent du marché tchèque et j'ai repris certains pays européens comme l'Espagne, l'Italie, la Belgique, la France, etc. I am looking for a normal sales guy who will have some proven track record. I am looking for some energetic guy, driven, with somebody who is able to take the responsibility that he will have a freedom. Okay, he will get. Is your market that you will be responsible for will be Africa, and let's.
Yes. So this was just the example of the what we call video job description. So this is simple video, basically done on the mobile phone, which we will use, and our sourcers. This doesn't work just on its own. Our sourcers will contact normally the candidates on LinkedIn, Facebook, and so on. And instead of sending the normal text description on your website, for example, or on the job portal, even worse, we will send this video job description on YouTube. The thing is, it works based on 2 facts. It's a video, so the thing is that people are not used to receiving videos as a job description. That's one thing. The second thing, those candidates can see their potential candidates, their potential boss. So I might say something like, okay, that's pretty cool. That looks like a good man. I will try the interview and I will go there. So this is pretty much effective. This is another thing. It's called video approach. LinkedIn individual video approach, and basically we use this for contacting a special, let's say, group of people where we know that there, for example, in this case, the city Ostrava, smaller city in the Czech Republic, and we knew that there are only 20 people of that sort for that particular technology. So to increase the chances to place that people, we basically create 20 videos where Zuzka here created a video something like, hello John, I found your profile on LinkedIn and now I'm looking for this job, blah, 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 blah. Basically, it can be the same what you would write in the email or in the invitation, but here you will do it on the video and the candidate will receive it as unlisted video on YouTube so nobody else can see it, and he will say something like, wow, somebody created video just for me, I need to reply to that. And exactly, you can see the response rate from the 36% of normal approach, we are at 100%, so all of them replied. And it pretty much works with male recruiters as well. This is interactive video for Deloitte. You can see the link underneath. You can try it. It's interactive video where you can actually choose which way it will continue. So it's kind of like from a perspective of the employee, from your own eyes when you are entering the Deloitte New Zealand, and so it's pretty interesting video. 360 videos. 360 videos. Those are videos where you can turn around with the mobile phone and so on, and you can see more things. The thing is that until recently, it was very expensive to do these videos because those cameras, it was usually called rigs, were pretty expensive. Now there is a chance to buy cheaper devices. This is, for example, a new video we will make public maybe tomorrow. Maybe you noticed the phone mana. It's called Mannequin Challenge, but we did the Mannequin Challenge but as 360-degree video. So this is this camera. By the way, the hanger underneath, what you can see there, it's also 3D printed. So we need this something to hold it on something. So we 3D printed, and you can see the VR virtual reality glasses. I have one here. I actually purchased recently 15 similar different types from China because they are creating new models. But you would maybe say, okay, this must be really expensive. What's the price of this? Actually, this, for example, these particular glasses, it's $7. So the glasses you can see on the slide, it's something like $6. So including shipping from Hong Kong. So what you can do is create this video, 360-degree video. So it will be like here, movable to the side, and you can basically do the video job descriptions where you would put that camera on the chair where that potential candidate would work, and you can actually send those glasses to the candidate. He will put the mobile phone in it, put it on him, and he would suddenly appear at his potential company. He could freely see to the sides where he is. His potential boss can go to him, can tell him something, can describe him, the company, and so on. So again, it's I call it a differentiation by a format, and you can see there are new formats and so on. I will show you more on the technology. And the first pioneers who would implement this into recruitment and so on will win it. So video in general, it needn't to be this 360-degree video, but video in general, you should be able to do the videos, because pictures, for example, everybody now can do pictures. Everybody now can do nice pictures, panoramic pictures, cinematic pictures, and so on. It's now kind of like it's becoming a standard. It's the barriers to skip into this. It's easier, but if you handle videos, you will win it. So this is the virtual reality glasses. This is the in-cam. We created a special device. We created for like in general. There is a camera, and every 60 seconds it will create a picture and upload it to this to my LinkedIn profile. So, for example, here I have it at the conference in Amsterdam, and if you visited my LinkedIn profile on the day when I was in the Amsterdam, you could see this banner, basically the live preview of the conference through my LinkedIn profile. So again, it's creating, as you notice, the differentiation by the format. It's about creating the attention, creating a simple selfie style video to that one particular candidate. It's not about technology, because it's ugly video done on the mobile phone, but the thing is that it will create the attention, because the guy will say, okay, somebody created a personalized video just for me. That's awesome. So it's about the attention. This is one of the things how to create attention. If you would be able to put this what we call in-cam to your work, to your office, you could see people basically coming to your profiles of your employees just to see what's happening there, and it would create the attention to your company. This is a thank you letter for your application, but you can see that the paper, it's not like it's behind the windshield, it's actually inside the car. There is this device, you have a link how to build it, roll jump device. Basically it's a device you can use for unlocking basically any car. Sounds crazy, but yeah, that's the modern car. Usually it's full of hardware and software, so the cars are nothing more than computers. So actually, even from the perspective of cost, current cars, the cost of the car it's basically created by the software, not hardware anymore. This is Beacon. Beacon is an Edison beacon. So the white one you can already purchase somewhere. The iBeacon is the chip we created here. It's basically the chip you can connect with your mobile app. If you have a mobile app, for example, we have this mobile app. So imagine this is our mobile app. We have candidates going there, applying for the position, and so on. And we have a question, but we will let's finish this. We can connect the iBeacon with this mobile app, and if you are going around that beacon, which we can place to the doors of your company, for example, you will receive a push message into your mobile phone, for example, with something like, hey, we know that you are looking for IT roles, let's visit us right now. So we have a question. What's the question? What should I study to become a good recruiter in the future? IT, psychology, online marketing. I think that's the beauty of recruitment, that it's basically all of that. You should be kind of like technologically literate, at least, because you can see that and we are not touching this in this webinar, but to do the proper job on LinkedIn, Facebook, GitHub, Twitter, Bitbucket, Stack Overflow, Dribble, and so on, to be efficient, to be, let's say, to uncover the most of the information and so on, there are definitely some technology behind it. You need to use some plugins. You need, for example, one example, if you for example hire IT people, a lot of IT people, they have their own domain. So for example, my name is Josef Kadlec. So imagine that you will connect with me on LinkedIn, and you would notice that I have email josef@kadlec.com. Once you realize this, you need to realize, okay, he has his own domain. If he has his own domain, you should be able to basically track who's the owner of the domain. Okay, there is service called whois. So let's see who's the registrator for the domain kadlec.com, and you would uncover my usually home address, my email, and usually also my mobile phone. So you can see there is some kind of like internet/online/computer literacy behind it. So that's definitely one thing. Second thing, marketing. Definitely, you are sending emails where there must be something involved. You are creating job proposals. You might creating campaigns. So sometimes it's not only about sourcing to contact 138 people, but you need to put next to it a campaign on Facebook, or Google Display Network, where you kind of like warm up your audience. So that's the second thing. Psychology. definitely that's very much connected with the social engineering. So you need to be able to speak with those people on the phone. You need to be able to speak with people, with passive candidates, and you should be able to turn them over an active candidates. So definitely psychology. We have a special course, headhunting, telephone headhunting, where people who are kind of skilled in this area are doing this. So basically kind of all of it. That's why sometimes all the time I'm asked why me as a former IT guy I could end up into recruitment. The thing is that I'm in the field of recruitment, but still I'm in the field of, as you can see, IT security, technical, social engineering, psychology, marketing, and so on. I'm in all of these fields. So that's the beauty. So my answer would be basically all of it. Yeah, so if you remember the list from the beginning, where we had the list of the employees, so I say how exactly my friend captured the list of the employees. The thing is that this list was actually purchased from a former employee of that company for a camera in the value of something like $100 or $200. So sometimes do not look for a complicated solutions once there is an easier one. I'm not kind of like encouraging you to force former employees to sell you this information. It's not right. The thing is, my message for you based on this is do not focus on some like hacks, special hacks which will do some little job. It's definitely still about the system. It's about how you are efficient, how many sources you can cover. If you have a high quality ATS, applicant tracking system, where you have all your candidates and you know in which exact stage they are and so on. So it's basically about the methods, about the process. These just little hacks might help you sometimes if they are let's say legal, or sometimes you can create some let's say guerrilla campaign where there are many campaigns where people use something, let's say, which on its own, when we isolated one thing, it's illegal, but or illegal, like behind some rules of, I don't know, for example, universities. It's not allowed to do that on the university. It's not against the law, but some of these particular things. But in general, it can be used. So yeah, so just have this in mind. Actually, it shouldn't be called hacking, because the things. One more question here I see from Ichi. Did you try PPC campaigns on Zinc for recruitment strategy? Some results. Thank you. My last question. We use PPC a lot, not on Zinc. We don't much focus on Zinc because Zinc is more for like Germans. And even if we, for example, in the Czech Republic, there is a lack of German speakers. So we don't use even for example LinkedIn. We don't use per pay click on LinkedIn because it's very expensive. And the thing is that, let's say, divide it into three things: LinkedIn, and maybe we can put Zinc into this area as well, like professional networks. There is Facebook and Instagram and so on connected with that, and there is a Google Display Network. Maybe, for example, if you have some local kind of like Facebook, we can take this into account. We have in the Czech Republic strong competitor of Google, so we can take this into account. So on LinkedIn we don't use per pay click at all, so you would not probably on Zinc as well. The thing is that on LinkedIn particularly it's very expensive, but the second thing is that people are not used to going there that often. Normally on Facebook you spend there 30 minutes a day normally, but on LinkedIn most probably not. So those per pay clicks are very, very difficult to create a track of the pipeline. Facebook, you can create a track of clicks and so on, but probably people going to Facebook go there with different intentions, so it's not working that much for a candidate. But for example, Google Display Network works perfectly, even for lower positions like insurance brokers and so on. It works like a charm. So if I would conclude it in this current stage, for the pay per click, definitely I would go with Google Display Network, even if the targeting it's not so precise as for example for Facebook. Facebook, I would go there with some campaigns and so on as well, but mainly directly, and LinkedIn preferably directly. LinkedIn for me, it's a database where I go directly. I need just to know how properly source the people on LinkedIn one by one. Okay, if you have any more questions, just feel free to put it here. Just back to this, the hacking now, it's kind of changed the meaning where there is this website where you can see actually the hacks in the real time. So there is actually a map whose you can see that China is attacking on US and so on. So the situation before, if we basically see 70 years to the past where when the first computers were built, we can actually we can try to ask Google if it can tell us when the first computer was built. Okay, Google, when the first computer was built.
Here's a summary from Computer Hope. The ENIAC was invented by J. Presper Eckert and John Mauchly at the University of Pennsylvania and began construction in 1943. To read more, look for the link in your Google Home app.
Okay, Google, stop. We have here the 70-minute timer, but we could see it was something like 1934. That's
My
the time.
apologies. I don't understand.
Okay, Google, stop. Okay, so we can see the hacking. These people on the slide, those are the first hackers. They created first computers. They built the technology. They tried the technology and so on. The meaning of the word hacking now, you can see it changed the meaning. The whole meaning. This is the Richard Matthew Stallman. You can see the last MIT hacker, but he's actually the founder of it was called GNU. If you know open source or free source, it's very much connected with that. Or if you know Linux, the operating system Linux, it's very much connected with that. I met this guy in 2004. Do not laugh. That's me. And you can see he signed up. That's one of the first actually emails sent over the internet. And he put there happy hacking, Richard Stallman. But he didn't meant hacking like breaking rules, breaking technology and so on. He actually meant invent technology. So the future is bright. You can see there are many questions about robotization, about if we will be over even our job as recruiters and sourcers, if it will be overtook by robots. This is a robot by Boston Dynamics. It's pretty scary, as you can see. US Army is kind of doing some contracts with them. So they are creating these robots, but usually the robots in the current area, it's not this hardware, it's usually just a software. If you know, for example, Facebook Messenger chatbots, it's the new thing from the last year. We implemented one here at Good Call as well. So this year, candidates would be able to apply for a position over Facebook Messenger. So just chatting with our basically robot, with our bot, with our AI, with our artificial intelligence, they will be able to apply for a job. So there are many emerging technologies, including virtual reality. We saw it right here. We saw these VR glasses. There is the augmented reality. I will show you one link which I definitely recommend you to see. There is 3D printing. There is these wearables. There are autonomous vehicles. There is Internet of Things, where your refrigerator would be connected with your, for example, the food delivery, and once the chip in your refrigerator will recognize that you have no milk, he will purchase the milk automatically. So imagine the possibilities of hacking in this era, where basically all the devices, there will be computers in all walls and at every room. Yeah, so many things every day. It's very much changing. So there is this tech hype cycle where, of course, not all of the technology will survive. So, for example, now we can hear a lot about autonomous vehicles. Probably it will be the future. We will see. We heard a lot about wearables, but now I wouldn't say that that I would say that maybe wearables are on the declining shift of the curve, and we are not using them. Imagine Google Glass project, Google Glasses, where you could basically see the augmented reality through the glasses. It was a project by Google, and it completely died. There is a new Adobe software where basically you can do things, something like if I have 20 minutes of your voice, maybe from YouTube, you can upload it to the software. It's not released yet, but it will be released. And once you uploaded it there, you can just by typing, you can basically create your own voice, including the accent of your voice, including the color of your voice, and so on. So again, as you can see at the beginning, we can call to anybody with any number, but you can also sound like anybody. So Andreas, hopefully you have some YouTube video with at least 20 minutes of your voice. Augmented reality, it's the thing where basically because there is one thing is the virtual reality, but people might be kind of like bored with the virtual reality because you are putting people to some virtual space where they can do something. But it would be more interesting to be in the current space, in the current environment here, but see some more things on top of that. So here on the picture, the table, for example, the computer and so on, it's real. It's what you can see, it's real. But the thing behind or under the desk, it's the augmented reality. So there is a new project. It will be kind of like smart lens. So it will not be glasses, but it will be lens into your eyes, and it will basically change the way how we consume any information from display. So you can create basically at your home. You will be able to create your TV anywhere in any size, or in the car you will not use your mobile phone or your GPS as a separate device, because you would have it directly in your eyes, and so you would, for example, see in your eyes, you would see the GPS, and your passengers would see there's something else, because they don't need to see the GPS. They would see, for example, I don't know, they would see the discounts on the shops, for example, and those discounts would be personalized just for them. So I can see a different discount than the passenger sitting next to me because he has a different account, and so on and so on. So this augmented reality, that's one of the things which might completely change how we behave in the market. So when the robots take over us, it's a question. Of course, for example, we start here at Good Call some automatization as well. So to some extent, you can do things like sending invitations automatically. You can do some things. So also from the perspective of candidates, all the middlemen, all the people basically whose work can be automated will be automated. People where you need to use kind of like creativeness, leadership, create science, do science and so on, those will not be let's say substitute any soon. Google Home, this is basically this device you just saw here. It's not only about it doesn't work only like a Siri, for example, at your phone, but you can connect it with your, for example, even lights. You can connect it with your heating, with the shades on your windows and so on. So you can do many of these things without touching basically the device. Amazon Echo is the competitive solution from Amazon. So yeah, so I would say last slide, be obsessed. It's kind of also my message to you, to kind of like do the work properly. Sometimes the obsession is a necessity, as you can see here. Even if I'm a former IT guy in recruitment now, I'm kind of like obsessed with these things. We have a question, so if you have a question, just ask. Okay. So a little bit maybe a political question. So I will read it out loud. A bit of a different question. The migration crisis from Syria. Does recruitment in Europe react on this situation with the new procedures, applications, and experience? I would say I don't know. Maybe in Germany, because here in the Czech Republic we don't have any basically any immigrants, or maybe we have 30 or something like that. Or we don't have basically any. So our market here hasn't been influenced at all. I guess Michi, you might be from Germany, based on the question with the zinc and so on. But I don't know. If I don't even know what's those people qualification, if they are something like, for example, programmers and so on. Probably they are, but I'm not able to answer this question. But thank you for the question anyway. So okay, if you have any questions, even after the webinar, feel free to connect with me on Facebook, on LinkedIn. I'm available anywhere. You will find my email address easily as well. So you saw some things today. As I said, one more again, some of them might not be legal at your country, so beware how to use it. But kind of my message to you was also kind of like open your mind. You saw many legal things like with the videos and so on. So my message to you is kind of like open your mind and try to implement some of these things into your daily routine. And I bet you will see the results very, very soon, and you will differentiate. As I say, pioneering these technologies is the way how to kind of create a competitive advantage. Be successful in recruitment. It's about competitive advantage. We have one more question from, I guess, Andreas. Talking about robots, read this one. Thank you for the webinar. You are awesome. Thank you, Andreas. I will definitely read it, and all of you can see the discussion. You can read it as well. Thank you, Andreas. Thank you. So yeah, that's kind of like from my side. If you want more information, we will with the Recruitment Academy. We are creating the online platform as I announced. So currently we have a lot of face-to-face trainings from LinkedIn sourcing, Facebook sourcing, let's say general online recruitment sourcing. We have the certification which covers the whole roles. We have the headhunting calls. We have the very interesting training on the methodology of Paul Ekman. If you know the TV series Lie Anatomy or Anatomy of Lies, something like that, where people can kind of like recognize based on your micro facials if you lie or not. You can basically promote your interviews to a higher level. We have trainings from the Mr. Milfai, the former chief of European Microsoft. Very interesting. So he's very, very interesting guy, and it's also very, very, very practical. So let's say me as a CEO of Recruitment Academy, our intention is to kind of have the top-notch training in this sourcing, recruitment, employer branding era, employer branding, HR marketing, another course where I got together with the country manager of Universum, which is the global let's say leader on the field of employer branding. So we have this strong course. So at the moment, it will be done within, let's say, 2 months. We are creating this online platform where all people globally would be able to join the platform and have the trainings right away. Not only the trainings, but you could also assess your skills as a recruiter, and basically the Recruitment Academy should be your kind of like buddy, recruitment buddy, where you have some of your tasks. You are hiring for your company, for your boss, for your agency, and so on. You need to fill those roles. You need to fulfill KPIs, and Recruitment Academy should be kind of your buddy, which will help you to reach your goals. One more question. By the way, do you have any certification in English? we will have it within the platform. Definitely, it will be part of that. So it will be fully loaded with the content. As you know, we did before something for you. So yeah, still there will be. We are now expanding to Poland. So we already had some trainings in Poland, which was in English. So we are able basically to go anywhere with some of our courses. So that's not even a problem right now. So if somebody in Germany will hire us to do sourcing, 1 day of internet sourcing, in-depth, hands-on, practical sourcing at their company, it's not a problem. We can do it, and we do it normally. So yeah, and it will be part of the online platform as well. So okay, so thank you. Maybe we can try one more example with the Google Home. You can, for example, say something like Google. Okay, Google, play some music.
Playing some music on Google Play Music.
Okay, so this is George Michael. Okay, Google, set the volume level 4. Yeah, so you can see even without touching that, you can turn the volume down. Okay, thank you, and this was it. And follow us, Recruitment Academy. Follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and I will definitely be back with other information which I would like to deliver to you. Cheers, guys.